Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. There are a lot of DAWs or digital audio workstations on the market today, and honestly, they're all really great. There are a lot of features in common among them, but there are also many differences among them. Some focus on different areas of music and audio production, some focus more on the audio recording, editing, and mixing side, while others focus on virtual instruments and music creation and so on. And they all do what they do in slightly different fashions. The key is to find the one or ones that slot into your workflow, help you get your work done quickly, and enhance your creativity. Personally, I use several different DAWs for certain things, but my primary DAW for composing, managing projects, recording, and even live performance is PreSonus Studio One. I've been using Studio One for years, basically from version 1.0. It started out as a great app, and over the years it's evolved into a powerful creative tool. As we're shooting this video, Studio One is at version 5.2, and it's a mature, solid, well-featured app. Here are several reasons, in no particular order, why I choose and use Studio One for my music and audio projects. One of the first things that appeals to me about Studio One is that it's a single environment that lets you get all your work done. So one basic app covers the entire process. It's a complete solution from raw idea to finished master to live performance on stage. So you do the bulk of your work here in the song page. This is where you record, you create your MIDI parts, work with instruments, do your mixing, add plugins, you can work with the browser here. We have all kinds of editing capabilities. So this is where you'd create your music, is in the song page. When your song's finished, you'd move to the mastering stage, or the project stage as they refer to it. In the mastering page, you can basically complete your project to get it ready for distribution, whether you're burning to CDs, whether you're having things duplicated to CD, so all that can take place right in this single page. When you're ready to take your music on stage, there's the show page. On the show page, you can load up a complete set's worth of songs. You can navigate among them, you can start and stop, you can loop different sections, you can create a chord track so that all the musicians who are connected can see the chords that are going on. You can send MIDI preset changes, all kinds of different things here that enable a really wonderful integration of your live performance. So I really like the way that Studio One brings everything together into one app, from creation to distribution to performance. It's all right here in one place. And the other cool thing is that it's tightly integrated with PreSonus' hardware as well. So if you're using PreSonus audio interfaces, certain of those interfaces will let you control everything from right inside Studio One. And of course, all their control surfaces are tightly integrated as well. But I'm a big fan of the free Studio One remote app, which runs on iOS, Android, and Windows tablets. It allows for wireless connection to Studio One and pretty much complete control over everything that's happening. So we can play back from here. You can even see the meters that are moving inside. We can access the show page. We can control pretty much everything we need for creating music and working with our shows right here inside the free app. I also really like how easy and intuitive Studio One is. Now, many DAWs offer drag and drop and all those kinds of things, and Studio One certainly features all those features. It's very easy to use and intuitive on the surface. But what's nice is, underneath that easy and intuitive surface, is you have a deep, feature-laden app that gives you access to tons of solutions for everything from basic recording to very specific things that you might want to do. You can even configure the display for exactly as much information as you want to see. So we can hide the browser, we can hide the mixer, we can hide the edit screen, we can just look at this, we can hide our information screens. So really you can narrow this down to just the task that you're working on. This would be great if I was just recording tracks, for example. And then when I'm ready to mix, I can open up the mixer. If I need to find my instruments or my content, open up the browsers. So very easy to navigate, and again, there's lots of power under the hood. There's a lot of contextual control as well. So if you hold the control key on my Mac here and we click, we get a lot of different options for working with events, instrument parts, musical functions, and so on. So all that depth, all that power is under the hood and easily available. And speaking of the browser, a ton of content comes with Studio One, and you access that here in the browser if we take a look at that. So we've got all the virtual instruments that come from PreSonus, Impact, Mai Tai, Mojito, Presence, Sample One, and so on. We also have a ton of different effects processors. Everything from the Ampere amp emulator to analog delays to filters, delays, reverbs, all kinds of modulation effects and so on. Lots of great processors here. We have a lot of loop content that's available to us, and on and on and on. Tons of things come with Studio One to get you started making music. One I want to point out to you is the splitter plugin. It's one of my favorites because it allows for parallel processing and really creative multi-processing of signals. I've got it instantiated here. If we click on that, open it up, you can see that it splits into multiple paths, and then we can insert plugins on each of those paths. It's a tool that allows for a lot of creative possibilities. Everything from parallel compression of drums to frequency-based splitting and much more. Very cool tool. I'm a composer working in a variety of different genres, so the composing features inside of Studio One are very important to me. And 3 I want to point out to you. One is the arranger track. If we open this up, we'll turn on the arranger. We can see it here. Basically, this allows you to split your song into multiple sections, and then you can creatively rearrange those sections to try different arrangements. It's very fast, easy to do. Simply click and drag, and you've changed the order of your song. B1 is now in front of A3. We can undo and put that back. In real time, if we're playing back, we can jump among sections by double clicking. So we've jumped to B1, we can jump here to A4, and you can determine when that jump takes place. PreSonus takes care of making sure everything stays perfectly in sync. Very easy to do, and it allows you to easily try out arrangements without making decisions in advance, so you can do it in real time in a very creative way. Another composing tool that I'm very fond of is scratch pads. Now these are easy ways to save ideas, alternate versions. Everything from a single event all the way to an arranger section can be stored in a scratch pad. Then you can access that and use it within your song wherever you like. It allows you to, again, very easily build up a bank of ideas that you can draw from to create things. Making a scratch pad is as easy as control-clicking here and choosing Copy to New Scratch Pad. The scratch pad opens up. You can see it shows up here in our timeline as well, and now we can work with that within our song. Another very powerful tool for composing is the chord track. So if we open this up, the chord track allows us to see the chords for a section of our song, or for the entire song for that matter. And it can even auto-detect what chords are being played based on the audio. And now we can reharmonize this. We could change chords by double-clicking. We could choose a different chord completely. And it'll actually transpose the audio and follow along, so you can try out different harmonizations, different progressions, and even different keys as you're working on your song. It's a super powerful tool. As a composer, another feature I really like in Studio One is the integration of actual music notation, and there's some really cool features here. So when we're working with MIDI, we can look at a particular track, we can view it as a piano roll, as you'd expect, we can look at it actually on a drum grid, or we can look at it as actual music notation. So for keyboards and things, it makes it very easy to see what's happening if you read notation. But with the latest version of Studio One, they've taken things even further. So we now have actual drum editing. So if we switch to this track, you can see we're looking at drum notation. You can choose among a wide range of different staff presets. Here we've got drums, cymbals, percussion, etc. We've got all kinds of note heads. We have symbols for things like techniques, like open, half open and closed hi-hat or drum rolls and those sorts of things. So we have a lot of flexibility with drum notation. But they've also added tablature in the latest version. So now we can have notation for guitar, bass, ukulele, mandolin, just about any stringed instrument, and you can even save actually tuning presets as well. So if you're doing a drop tuning, you can display that here, and you can work with the tablature directly in addition to the MIDI notation. You saw that my note changed there. One follows the other. Very convenient way to work if you're working with notation, and it also makes it very convenient for creating charts because there's direct integration with Notion, which is PreSonus's notation program. So if you need to create quick lead sheets or even complete scores, you can do that by working back and forth with Studio One and Notion. It's a great system. These days, it's increasingly important to have video support inside your DAW, and I really like the way that PreSonus does it. It's basically a video player window, but it makes it super easy to import video tracks and work with them, and it also has an efficient video engine, so it's very easy to work to picture. So we simply open up the video player, shows up here, we can start playback. Our song plays right along, you can see that here, and it's very easy to make edits or to create music based on what's happening in that video window. Another thing that PreSonus introduced recently is PreSonus Sphere. And this is a subscription service that's very affordable, just a few dollars a month, that allows you to access all of their software products as well as all the add-ins, all the content, and it provides you with easy collaboration tools from right inside Studio One. So if we open our browser, we go to Cloud, we can see PreSonus Exchange, and if we click on that to open it up, there are all kinds of things we can download here. There are Studio One extensions, effects change, color schemes, and all kinds of different things that you can use inside Studio One. But over here we have PreSonus Sphere, and this gives us access to collaboration capabilities as well as workspaces. So I've created a workspace here. You can drag and drop audio tracks up into your workspace. Other people can download them, and in fact, you can collaborate with non-PreSonus users. All you have to do is give them permission to access your workspace. So it's a great way to collaborate, as well as to store things in the cloud, keep backups for yourself, all those kinds of things, and you can access tons of shared content. So PreSonus is definitely an add-on you'll want to look at if you're a Studio One user. So that's a brief rundown of some of the features in Studio One that I really enjoy about the app. And of course, there are tons more great features in Studio One: macros, customization for your workflow, and much more. I'm just touching on some of the most important ones to me in my creative process. It's a truly amazing app that's always improving and expanding, which I really like about it. It offers tons of power for getting your creative work done, but it's also easy to use. If you're thinking about making the move to Studio One, check out my video on Studio One version 5 and my recent video on the new features in Studio One version 5.2. The links are in the video description below. Then visit Sweetwater.com and contact your Sweetwater sales engineer to learn more. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click here for more videos like this, or start at Sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.